What is good, everybody? What is good? Welcome back to another one, man. I'm your host, Lou. Let me get my music right just 1 second, because I need a vibe. It is. I'm sorry, Cowboy Nation, but I just need a vibe, and and I think this is this vibe right here, a little classic one. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's needed. I feel like it really is needed because Cowboy Nation, can I talk with you? Hold on. Let me turn this down because it's been a rough couple of days, man. It's been a rough couple of days indeed. Let me take a look at y'all in the chat, man. What's good with y'all? Shout out to my guy Bosses in the building. Shout out Common Sense. I appreciate everybody in here. We gonna get right into it. I think my audio should be good. Let me make sure. Yeah, my audio should be good. Okay. All right. Make sure if you're coming in here, like, share, and subscribe. My bad, y'all. It's been a rough couple of days. If I only told y'all what happened right before, like it was some stuff happening on my house and everything like that. But we're gonna get right into it. Before we get into the show, y'all already know I like to, you come here, I'm sorry, I'm not apologizing. It is Black History Month, and I did say I was gonna do this. They gave us the shortest month in the year to begin with, so I am, if you've been going here, if you was here last week, that we are going to take the time to honor two African-American people who have greatly impacted the sport of football. I'm doing 2 a week, and this week I have 2 amazing gentlemen. This guy right here, his name is Eddie Robinson. He was the coach for Grambling State. HBCU in the building. If y'all know, I played at HBCU. You should know if you watched the intro and everything like that. But why is this important? Because see, a lot of the HBCU name really lost like a lot of, its reputation over the years. But I'm here to teach you something. HBCU football used to be the best football, and I'm not saying that out of pride. They actually were. Like before, of course, we should know the history. Before we were able to integrate into the other institutions or PWIs who that costed more money, or it was just segregated. Black people or African Americans, their only outlet to higher education was HBCUs. Thus, a lot of your best athletes, your NFL athletes, actually went to HBCUs. And the reason why I'm highlighting him, he sent over 200 players to the NFL. Eddie Robinson. Shout out to everybody coming in the building. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the content. You know what I'm saying? He has 408 career wins. He is one of the winningest coaches in college football history. You feel me? He helped legitimize HBCU football. Like I'm telling you right now, a lot of people don't know, but HBCU football used to be more competitive than the big PW, like SEC, Bama, and everything like that. And then once they saw that all the talent was from there, they started to incorporate and include us in. But before that, we had guys like Eddie Robinson, he was coaching for 57 years at Grambling State, which is in Louisiana, from 1941 to 1997. Shout out to him. Now we're going to highlight somebody that's actually who's connected with him. You should know him. This guy, his name is Doug Williams. This is one of Coach Eddie Robinson's players that he put into league. But while we're highlighting Doug Williams, I know he got the Washington colors on, but we're highlighting every African American on all levels of football. You know what I'm saying? That contributed. He was the first Black quarterback to start and win a Super Bowl. Doug Williams, Super Bowl MVP. I think it's Super Bowl 22 if my Roman numerals reading is correct. 4 touchdowns, played for the Washington Redskins, HBCU product at Grambling State, and he was coached under Eddie Robinson. He helped build. He later became a senior executive and helping build championship rosters. But happy Black History Month, and we, like I said, we was gonna highlight these two at the beginning of every show. So I'm just giving y'all a little bit of a, you know, education and everything like that. So we got some breaking news. Breaking news, and you know what I'm saying? Look, we have completed the core coaches in the defensive side in terms of hirings. Okay, the coach that was hired, his name is Scott Simmons. I hope I'm not butchering his name. He's hired to be the inside linebackers coach for your Dallas Cowboys. Okay, so salute to him coming in here in the building. We have finally completed all the core coaches in here. I'm very interested to see who's going to be the run game coordinator. So yeah, let me just give my analysis on him. Like I ain't gonna lie, I do not know more of him. I just know I can just read off where he's been. You know, he's been at SMU as a DC, safeties coach there for briefly. SMU's here in Dallas, coached at Liberty as a DC, coached at Memphis as a linebackers coach, West Georgia. You know, he's been all over, safeties coach. But so, you know what I'm saying? It seems like he got a lot of, you know, backgrounds just off, you know, first glance at, you know, and the coverage side and the linebacking side. So I'm liking what I'm seeing in terms of, like, we're going out and getting guys who are who we feel are who can fill in these, who's the most, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, like, sorry, my mind is all over the place. We feel like he was the best candidate to hire for this position, and we did not, you know, discriminate against any of the level he came from. We have gotten multiple guys now from the college ranks, and I do like that. And I do have a slight connection to Scott Simmons, not directly, but I got like a connection of a connection. And I one of my former teammates who do all the music that y'all be hearing, like who does the intro, the intro music that I have, you know, the little waiting music, the starting soon. He played at SMU. My guy Shane Haley. I played with him in high school at Bishop Dunn. You feel me? And I texted him this morning. He's like, "Man, what am I, insider?" So the thing is, Shane did not directly play under him. So I'm looking at it here that I was researching. Simmons, or Coach Simmons, he got hired at SMU in 2022, but Shane, he graduated as a senior from SMU at 2021, but he was still in the building connected. You feel me? Like he was still going to the game every day, still very much so connected. You know what I'm saying? Like within the team. So I was, cause I remember when, you know, we all graduated college together, and I was like, man, hold on, I still saw you around a building and everything like that. So you should have, like, you should know of him, and you have like former teammates that you directly played with that played under Simmons. And you know, like if you play somewhere the very next year, you know of that coach, especially if you got dogs that are still on there. So, you know, I texted Shane this morning. He told me, he said from what I heard, everybody likes him as a coach. He's a smart dude that knows ball. They like him as a family man as well. I swear, he said it right here. They like him as a family man as well. That tells me everything I need to know. Shotty, hands all over this. His hands are all over this. That tells me everything I need to know on this. So, like, you know what? Him telling me that, like, that confirms to me Shotty was all over this. And this also, this is why we told y'all Gannon was never a Shotty guy. I don't have the backgrounds for the other coaches, but hearing him say he's a family man, and we know how Shotty is. We absolutely know that's at the top of Shotty's, you know what I'm saying, criteria when he wants in the coaches. He wants that player connection, you know what I'm saying, being able to connect with the players outside of just the X's and O's. You feel me? So shout out to Coach Simmons. Shout out to my guy Shane. Actually, yeah, if y'all can just support him because he, bro, makes great music. You know what I'm saying? Play linebacker at SMU. You know what I'm saying? Everything like that. So shout out to everybody coming into the building. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to this to content, man. So the hirings are done. So I gotta finish my video because I got a video coming out on the entire hirings. All right. He said Flock Nation a bit. I feel like the division, y'all, is going to be competitive. Philly is in the head and above and shoulders and above Dallas and New York Giants. I appreciate that, man. We got people from Raven Nation coming in here. I wish we could have got your guy, or I wonder if you know anything was going on with Or, if you heard anything, I would be interested to know. But so it's time to get into the show. Because y'all saw the thumbnail, you know what I'm saying? I did my little y'all in here now. It's time to get into that. And I know if you've been following me, you know the stance I've been hinting at or been taking a part of and everything like that. But I ain't had a chance to fully explain myself and really dive into the research. It is $1 million question. I will say that it's a very, very touchy subject for Cowboy Nation. I will give them that. I you know what I'm saying? Like, I really understand that Cowboy Nation, we really do not want to trade Pickens. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand that George Pickens came in, he stole our heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I understand that the Cowboy Nation does not want to go back. They don't want to go that. But this entire show is going to lay out the plan. Not a plan, but I just want to lay out my concerns. Because whether people like it or not, the Dallas Cowboys are at a crossroads with Pickens. Not at a crossroads of just acquiring him on the team. We're at a cap crossroads. And I know people hate hearing that word. We are at a cap crossroads. The crossroads is, do we commit another premium contract to the offense and most importantly to the wide receiver room? Do we commit another premium contract to the offense and to the wide receiver room and everything like that? So Lou, why is this a hard, question for you? Why are you so worried about this? What is drawing you? Why are you worried about the cap? Lou, you was on the side of, you cussed out the front office and Lou, you have been, Lou, you being pro, you know what I'm saying? F them picks, being aggressive. What is the hold up now? I'm glad you ask. And I want to preface this by saying I do not do this to be right. I don't do this for fame. I do this to put great ideas out there. You feel me? And I'm going to lay the case out. I see everybody said, I'm going to hit everything today. I'm going to hit everything today. But what I want to first preface you is what I'm concerned about. Before I show this, I want to preface people that whether people like it or not, it's a seesaw when it comes to balance of your roster in terms of resource allocation. I don't know if people really, they forget sometimes, and I really do understand it. It's an offensive league, but you do have a defense that's just as important. And it's as much as possible, we need to make sure this seesaw stays as equal as possible. So let me go back and, and show you the history on why this concerns me. In 2022, I did a cap pie chart, did the math, and I wanted to show you in 2022, offense compared to the defense. Offense comprised of 78% of the cap. and the defense was 22%. I only had, and at the bottom right, you can't see it because, you know, I got the bottom third in the way, but this is when around the time of Dak's cap spike. I think this is, mind me if I'm wrong, this is like, I think 2021 was the year where they had him play on a tag and then they paid him and everything. Like, it was a huge cap spike, right? And I'm just visualizing that, you feel me? 2023 was a lot better. I like what I saw. 59% offense. I think, we had the cap hits, settled down in terms of the offensive side. We got back and we brought in some outside improvements. I think we brought in, this is the year we traded for Gilmore and et cetera. We actually tried to commit more to the offense. I think we were already, paying most of the defense. We're more balanced in 2023. 2024, this is when I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, this is when CeeDee Lamb's contract this is when now we have a premium quarterback and receiver. Mind you, also in 2024, this is why I want to highlight this. This is the lame duck season year. This is McCarthy's last year. This is when they hired Zimmer. This is where, this is where all of this occurs. Right? And like, this is where Mike Zimmer had to beg for extra defensive tackles on a wing year deal. Right? So why am I highlighting this? I'm highlighting this because it's pretty clear that the Dallas Cowboys want to be leaning and investing in most of the resources to the offense. We all know the reasons. We all know, like, casually football is more enjoyable when it's better offense and everything like that. Like, the rules are slanted that way. It's the same thing in basketball. Offense sells tickets. Offense is what drives up the price. And actually, this is what progresses the entire league. You know what I'm saying? But why this is important, because whether people like it or not, and this is a fact, and I know people have been twisting the words and everything like that, a defense is needed to contend. I'm gonna say it again. A defense is needed to contend. There is no shortcut. There is no shortcuts around that. There is no shortcuts around that. So, like, there has been a common theme of all the people who have been in the biggest games, whether it be Super Bowl, AFC, NFC Championship game, playoffs, period. You have to have some type of great defensive play, some type of good defensive play. That is a requirement to have a good defense. The best analogy I can say, the defense is the foundation of playoff contention. If you do not have a defense, the ground will crumble every time from beneath you. This is a known fact. Offense is important. That's how you swing punches and land points and everything like that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you have a terrible defense, you can be swinging and going in points, but it's like getting in quicksand. It's literally like getting in quicksand. You can score all those points all you can swing as much as you can, but when you got a bad defense, number 32, you stuck. As much as you try to get out, you try to get back in the game, that defense is swallowing you up. It's swallowing you up. So It's so the defense is the foundation, the firm foundation. If you want your offense to be validated in your being high powered, being efficient, when it comes to playoff time, you cannot, when you're making all those haymakers and everything like that, and you're high powered, you cannot afford the ground beneath you to crumble. Thank you, boss. Green Bay is the perfect example of that. Because correct me if I'm wrong, we went into that game, everyone wants to, I know, like offense sell tickets. It's the storylines. They want to point out Dak. They want to, they want to highlight what went wrong. We don't want to highlight the quicksand that was happening that entire game. And the reason why you ultimately lost. The defense didn't stop nobody for 7 straight possessions. So when Dak is coming back, when he finally, wakes up from throwing them picks, the turnovers was horrible. I will give you that. The turnovers was absolutely disgraceful. But as we're trying to make a comeback and your defense haven't stopped a cold, you're already halfway drowned. You're already halfway drowned. Without a defense, you will sink. You will sink. I just want to highlight that for people because and this is coming from somebody who plays offense. You want to know what I play? I play left tackle, left guard, right tackle. That's literally my entire rap sheet in college. I played them all. I got coaches to call. They can tell you play both. I love it. You talking to somebody who didn't love more of scoring points than the offense. Than me. I had the mentality, okay, the defense ain't gonna get it today. Let's get back on the field and we're gonna put up more points. But it comes a time in the playoffs, in the game, in the state championship. You know what I'm saying? It comes a point where me putting up all these great points, it don't mean nothing if we ain't making no headway. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Malik Chris. You're not going to be able to score 40 points in a game in a 17-game season, but you can hold them to 20 points a game. That should win the game. Perfectly said. Perfectly said. And I keep telling you that, it goes back to my analogy, the defense is a foundation. You will not sink if you have a great foundation. No matter what game you go into, you will not sink. It can be snowing, you will not sink. It can be freezing, it could be hail, it could be a hurricane, you will not sink because that is your foundation, the ground beneath you will always be there. The offense, it's erratic. It's erratic. You need that. So the whole premise of this conversation, I want y'all to know where is my, my passion is coming from. It's coming from me, getting tired of seeing playoff games and we're sinking every single game. We're sinking. LA Rams, got weapons out the ass, but guess what? They rushed for almost 300 yards on you. You're sinking. We was up in that game, multiple touchdowns. But guess what? The defense couldn't stop a lick. You're sinking. You're stuck. You can fight all you want. You can score as much as you want. But if you do not have a firm foundation, where are you going? So, I'm glad that we had a chance to highlight that. So why does this matter? Why does the defense matter? Why, Lou? Why? Because we got to understand that we're getting ready to commit resources, at least 35 plus million. If you didn't know, you're getting ready to pay that 35 plus million. You know what I'm saying? Actually, wasn't gonna show y'all, but you know what I'm saying, let me show y'all real quick, so y'all can know. Hold on. receiver contracts, so everybody can know. Because me seeing this last night, it really spoke to me. Let me make sure y'all can see it. All right, well, you really can't, dog it. I'm just zooming out. Let me see if y'all see that. Yes, y'all can, because all we care about is the average. We see the top is Jamar Chase. We see Justin Jefferson is 35, CeeDee Lamb is 34. 35 million is the safe way of saying, like, hey, we're getting ready to commit that much in there. So let me go back to why this is important. Because shout out to Dan Rogers. He wrote an article on this conversations that's been on the Spear, especially with like around Boss, that's in the building. And a couple of things I wanted to highlight the reason why the conversations between Pickens and Maxx Crosby and why it needs to be had. First of all, I need people to understand what is the definition of value. Value is something in regard that's whole, reserve, and importance of worth or useless for something. The definition of positional value in football is a strategic hierarchy of ranking of positions based on relative importance, scarcity, and impact on winning. Now, in Dan's article, we're gonna highlight a few things. We're not gonna read this whole thing. I just want to highlight a few things because he talks about positional value within that. Because at the end of the day, this is why Maxx Crosby in the position. Because I know people are like, why we need edge? Why not safety? Why not corner? The reason why we're aiming for that. He best. I love how he puts it. Positional value in the NFL dictates disrupting the quarterback is more critical than catching passes from run. Disrupting the quarterback is more critical than catching passes from run. Historically, edge rushers like Maxx Crosby impact every defensive snap, forcing quick throws, whereas receivers depend on their quarterback to be relevant. Depend on their quarterback to be relevant. Last night, sometimes my choice of words, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know I can be harsh, in some things I say, but sometimes I say it in a way to catch your attention. When I say that wide receiver is a negative asset, I honestly do mean that. I do mean that. We should know the most important position, the position about the closer you are to the ball, the more impactful you are on the football field, just off pre-snap alignment. Height, who has the ball? It's the quarterback. That's the most important guy on the field. Thus, it represents their market value. This is why they are paid $50 million a year. Okay, let's get that out the way. Okay, this is why they're paid that. The guy who's attacking them is the edge rusher. That is the one who's attacked. This is why edge rusher is second, because that's the guy with the football who impacts it is the quarterback. Who's next? The guy protecting them from the guy that's impacting them, which is the left tackle. And it goes from that. So when we bring up the conversation between Crosby and Pickens, I know people are like wondering why is it? It's obviously Pickens. We're a better team with Pickens. No, by definition, you are a better team with Crosby. There is nothing that can say that. Nothing that says otherwise. Nothing you can say to me that says otherwise. One receiver I will give you is a need. Two receivers is a luxury. And that I'm gonna prove that today. I'm gonna prove how that's a trend today. Because the two receiver logic within the league, I don't think people understand because they're afraid to have this conversation, but what we're getting ready to do is probably one of the most important decisions we're going to do in the entire franchise outside of hiring the DC, because a lot of people, I have numerous examples, times other organizations had to make the same decision. It went under the radar and they made the responsible one and it led to, prosperity. And the ones who chose the unresponsible one, it led to excitement, but not prosperity. So let me go back to the pie, because people are not understanding the definition of why I saying that a second receiver is a luxury. Because I went back, earlier, and I was showing the pie chart and everything like that with the defense. I got one more to show you. This is a pie chart representing if and when we pay Pickens. This is why having 2 receivers on your team is a luxury. Dak, we know he's making $60 million. You cannot change that. You can complain, whine, all that. The quarterback market, the quarterback's value represents the importance. Okay? It represents the importance. 2 receivers, and this is what I was showing earlier, equals or sometimes even more, I put that 26% there, of the quarterback's value or what the quarterback is making. So this decision is not just a blank check scenario. If and when we pay Pickens, we can be probably spending close to $70 million in the wide receiver room. Thus, between the quarterback and his 2 receivers, it's taking up more than 50% of the actual pie, of the cap. This is just the quarterback and his receivers. The quarterback and his receivers. I had to visualize it for you. Do you see just Dak and CD and Pickens is 50%, and that's the rest of the team. The rest of the team also includes the rest of the offense too. But you know what else is also in the rest of the team? It's the defense. This is why I'm going to highlight today that paying the second receiver has been a very important trend and very important decision that a lot of people made. Swain, Lou, is this with or without restructured deals? We're going to talk about that today, because today, after I respond, after I do this, we're going to shut down all that logic on the restructures, because that is I officially have researched, and now I have a full understanding of how restructures work and what is the ramifications. Boss, I appreciate you, because I thought it was just a flip of a switch all this time, but I didn't like now actually seeing it in black and white and actually seeing it, like what actually happens during the restructure and why it bites back. I'm going to do my best to explain it to you about why the restructures, when you do it, it should be like it's a last resort. The restructure model should be a last resort to opening up immediate cap to actually have flexibility to compete in the now. And when you do it, you have to do it strategically. But I'm just showing you now, this is what is allocated. Once we sign see, the thing is, Swain, what we're gonna have to get y'all to understand about the restructures and everything like that. Once we sign a deal, the money is owed. It's not owed now, but it's gonna be owed at some point. So right now, when we sign this deal, over half the budget on a year-to-year basis will be going to literally 3 people on the offense. This is without offensive line. This is without even the entire defense. So I laid all that out for you, and I laid out the positional pie chart and how it's going to lay. Now let's get into what you want to talk about, Swain, because a lot of people want to know what the restructure is. We're going to lay all this out before we come back. So in the NFL, most restructures work like this. We convert the base salary into a signing bonus. Spread that signing bonus over the remaining years. This lowers this year's cap hit, but it increases the future cap hit. The players still get paid The team just changes when it hits the cap. That's okay. You hear a lot of creators say that, but I want you to understand, and I'm gonna highlight it today. Because when people say we convert to a signing bonus, like the signing bonus, when you hear that, when I used to hear that, I'm like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying, that ain't nothing. The moment it becomes a signing bonus, like the moment you flip so many switches, you can't flip them again. So like when people say there's switches built in, there's only so many, but it's gonna be a point in the future where that signing bonus, because once you convert it to a signing bonus, it has to get paid at some point. It has to get paid at some point. And I think people do not understand, once you do that, I'm gonna explain it right here. Hold on, make sure this is the next one. So, cause a good question would be like, why don't teams just keep restructuring forever? Why they just keep kicking the can down the road? If you keep restructuring a player, you will stack pro-rated bonuses. So the money you keep kicking down the line, it literally multiplies. It multiplies. It literally multiplies. And I told y'all, once you turn it into a bonus, it has to get paid. So if you release or trade him later, you still have that remaining bonus. Like the bonus accelerates, and it becomes a dead cap. Eventually, if you just flipping triggers all willy-nilly, the dead cap keeps increasing, and your roster will thin, and you will perpetuate a cap cleanup cycle. So I'm gonna keep explaining it. I'm gonna show you. So when people say we can free up 30 million, this is what they're actually saying. Let's borrow the money from 2026. Let's borrow the money from 2027. Let's borrow the money from 2028. Eventually, you're gonna hit a year when it's like when we go into the year and free up for 2026. If we're borrowing from 2027, we're freeing up for 2026. But eventually next year, if and when, we don't know how it's gonna end, 40 to 50% of that cap is already spoken for, and we can't do nothing about it. It's dead cap before free agency even begins. So this is the last line is the reason why it's important, because it kills the ability to be flexible. It kills all ability to be flexible. This is why credit card type. See, the thing is, it's not even a credit card, more like a mortgage. Swain, I know, like I know a lot of people, like, if you heard of a mortgage, it's basically if you refinance a house. So how you go, you buy a house, you know what I'm saying? The bank gives you, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to pay so much for principal, you got to pay so much, you know what I'm saying? So, and you're giving a mortgage payment based off how much principal, how much interest you owe. When you want to refinance, is actually, great, what's the name? You're going to take a lump sum of money to the bank, and you basically saying, hey, I want to buy down my payment right now. But when my mama told me, because she's an accountant, what you're doing is restarting the entire process in terms of your payments. So if you pay $50,000 of your $100,000 home, and then you buy a restructure, okay, it goes all the way back down to zero. We still got to finish out that 100,000, but now you've lowered it. For right now, there is no flexibility in the future. That is fixed for the rest of time. That lower cap hit is fixed for the rest of time. So we're borrowing from tomorrow in order to make today work. That's what I'm saying. So when you flip those switches, you have to be very strategic on whose switch you want to flip. And we cannot be flipping big cap hits on the same year. You know what I'm saying? So this is why, this is important. So if you restructure a 28-year-old receiver, a 30-year-old edge, and a 31-year-old quarterback, you're betting that they stay elite. But if the performance drop, you're stuck with the high cap hits and at the dead money, and there's no escape route. Or this is another thing. We ain't talking about them falling off a map. We're talking about if injury happens and you want to bring in someone to have, you know what I'm saying, that maybe can bridge you. You don't have any ability to do that. Or you might have ability to do that, but you can't bring in a high quality bridge because you have locked in that you was going all in for the now, right? You have locked in that if it happens within this window, you're stuck. You are basically locking in this roster. That's why everybody who does it's literally preferably to do restructures in the midst of when you know you're close to a Super Bowl. When I was researching this, the best team that came up who are in a similar situation to us, not in like paying a receiver, but deciding to go all in because a quarterback is at the end of the road, was actually the Saints. And the Saints kept kicking the can down the road on multiple contracts. So within those seasons, whatever happened, they were stuck. You have to be a hell of a drafting team and betting on outside or just lower quality talent to come in and be the reassurance if anything happens. You have locked in absolutely zero flexibility. And that's what happened. But they did it because, you know what I'm saying, Breeze was threatening retirement. I understand that the ramifications in that, they are still dealing with that to this day. So this is why their roster is old and aging and they can't do absolutely nothing about it. They got to let them either sit there or cut them and eat all that money at a time. And I know people are not thinking about that in the future, but if the thing we're trying to get y'all to understand is just kicking all the can to go all in on this year, anything can happen for this year. So this is why I just want to have a little bit more flexibility to be able to go all in, maybe in the immediate next year, maybe in the 2 to 3 years. But we're not at the point with Dak's career where he's like, okay, if we gonna go in all into like next year, I'm gone. We're not at that point yet. This is why I want to be like, I want to have some type of flexibility within my roster, because 2024 can happen again. Like I talked about it, like how we had all those defenders, and literally, what was like a 70% of the cap got hurt, and you could, and like even though we had ability then, but just imagine if we do that and all the switches are flipped. Now all those Carl Lawson and those Trequise Bridges we do to in this year, bringing them in, that's what we actually have to deal with in the midst of us trying to compete against a prime Niners or a prime Seahawks and everything like that. You have to be very selective, and when you do that, you have to be very responsible in when you want to flip these switches. The shout out to Henny in the building. I understand you saying the cap goes up every year, you know what I'm saying, every 3 years. I understand, but we are stacking heavy tickets. That's what we're saying. We're stacking heavy tickets, and these tickets going to multiply over time. You know what I'm saying? Boss said we did it. Zach will, yeah, most people don't understand Zach Martin is going to be a $25 million cap hit next year. That's $25 million needed to rebuild this defense. Because let me remind y'all, we had a historically bad defense last year. And as soon as the season, was over, I held a microphone to all of y'all. Y'all was like, we need an overhaul. Well, now we can't do it like the overhaul we really could do because $25 million is gone. And that's Zach Martin money. That's guard money. What about premium wide receiver 1 flipping switches? What about a quarterback flipping switches? This is different type of money where the payday is going to be owed soon. Because I told y'all, the moment you flip that money, is now classified as signing bonus. It's got to get paid at some point. If you borrow from 2026, or you borrow from 2027, you got to pay in 2027. And you wondering why we ain't adding nothing this year. I mean, it didn't work out. You don't have any flexibility. You got to sit there with it. And so this should rule out everyone who's saying we can do both. We can't do both. You have to make a decision. I'm letting you know right now. It's either Pickens, like I have down the screen. It's literally either Pickens or Crosby. It's literally either Pickens or Crosby. It's literally because right now we're getting ready to commit $35-40 million to somebody. It has to be, you have to literally choose him or a receiver or Crosby. You cannot pick both. We cannot inherit 7. We are already a very expensive roster. People don't even know about it. We cannot keep kicking cans because we are not going to ever recover. The Saints have still not recovered. I understand, like they already like Drew Brees, man. Like, just think about it. What happened? Like me when I was doing this research, man. This is why Sean Payton was like, yeah, I quit, and I come back to football later. Trade me to the Denver Broncos. I'm not finna sit through that shit because I flipped all the switches. I'm done. We literally are LeBron in it. I love LeBron to death, but this is the shit LeBron be doing. LeBron be get on the team and he'll like it. In order for him to compete now, he'll GM his way around this shit and leave your ass in the barren wasteland when he leaves. Trade all your high assets. Went to the Lakers, traded all they shits. All them damn rookies. Lonzo gone. All that. Kyle Kuzma gone. All that. Yeah, it's good for me to compete now, but now we in 2026, got Luka, and you want some flexibility, LeBron, it's gone. We can't do nothing. Same thing here. Like, if anything can happen this year, if we got Pickens and we be looking like, well, we just need this, and this, and we're looking at you like, well, you remember that switch? We flipped the money we borrowed 2 years ago? It's old. We owe it. So, and we ain't paid everybody just yet. You feel me? Troy Moore said there is a percentage allocated to defense. We aren't even close either by all the departures. He said, what is it? Let me try to go. I feel that way. Lou was talking about what Dak has been dealing with, inheriting. Yeah. And the Cowboys fans really believe we can pay everybody we want. Like, that's the thing. We cannot literally pay everybody we want. And so I'm glad you say that. So now that I've laid out to you the situation within like the players in question, why flipping switches is there is a hard cap, whether we like it or not. Like, yeah, it went up every year, but we're hard capped because we're if you're borrowing money, you're making, like, at some point you're gonna be close to that hard cap. It is not a myth. It's not all the way a myth. You have to be. I ain't gonna lie, this is where Steven is low-key right. This is why it's important to have well, he's not all the way right. Take that back. The Rams approach is right. It's good to be in participating in free agency and being able to hit on your draft picks, because the perfect balance, we're talking about the seesaw, and I'm not even talking about offense versus defense. You need a heavy balance of big ticket people and young, productive depth on your team. So, like this, what we're talking about can alternate. We can alternate in years and we won't be mad. You know what I'm saying? Robbing Peter to pay Paul. Paul gonna want his damn money. You right, Swain? And he ain't fucking playing around. Because the moment you flip that switch, it is due. Whatever switch you flip, it's going to be due. It's literally added. It's pre-added to your next cap. And you can't do nothing about it. You are hard capped. So sure, this cap hit is fine, but your next year's cap hit won't be. So let's talk about the examples on when this shit happened. A lot of people won't remember, but when the Chiefs first went to the Super Bowl, they had all these weapons: young Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. Why couldn't they keep both? Why didn't they do both? In 2022, instead of paying Tyreek Hill, this is not even 35 or 40, but we're talking about $10 million less. They traded him instead of paying him $30 million a year. You know why? Because they reallocated that money with draft capital, with secondary depth, to the other side. Because you cannot, as exciting as high powered this offense can be, at the end of the day, we have to be responsible. We have to remember that if we have true aspirations of putting up banners, one side of the ball is not more important than the other. And nothing is more important to championship play than a defense. You better have a plan. If you ain't gonna commit resources, then you better hit on these draft picks early. If you're trying to compete. And they made that decision. It resulted in 2 more Super Bowl wins. That decision. And guess what? Here's the fun part. They didn't even win those Super Bowls by offense. Mahomes was amazing. Those defenses was the reason why. one guy's contract, 30 million. I reallocated. No, we ain't gonna pay him and then flip the switch later on and pay the bill later. No, let me take that money. Chris Jones is here. He's more important. We got safeties we need to pay. We know what I'm saying? We got corners. We gonna draft Trent McDuffie. You know what I'm saying? L'Jarius Sneed. We got Carl Loftus. We gonna do everything we can to take the money because we don't want the seesaw to go too far, because guess what? When we gonna look at it, we live in Kansas City. This shit, at some point it gets to -5 degrees here. That's what's gonna be needed. The defense. They became young, fast, and affordable because they reallocated. Instead of having 2 premium offensive weapons, they chose the quarterback and the defense. Matter of fact, I looked it up. The only switches mainly that the Kansas City Chiefs are flipping is Mahomes' contract, because they gave him damn near $500 million to begin with. So those switches being built in, it was literally designed for it. They literally chose that route. Mahomes and a defense. Now, like he still needs weapons to this day, but they are reallocating the need because it's easier. And this is why I didn't put in here. Let me go back to the social capture real quick, because my bad, I'm all over the place. But shout out to Dan Rogers, because he put it in here. He has a section. Which position is easier to replace? There's a reason why people always go away. The trend of the people who want to progress, they choose to reallocate the need of defense, whether it be edge rusher, to the receiver, because it's easier to find the receiver. Yes, he says it. I love how it will depend on the scouting department of these players and positions, but can we be honest? Receivers are a dime a dozen. You found Pickens. Receivers are a dime a dozen. There's a new great receiver every year. And can I be honest with y'all? Let me put this camera on me for a second. Put some respect on Dak's name. Pickens wasn't shit before he came to Dallas. I said it. He had potential, but potential ain't shit until the rubber meets the fucking road. Till the rubber meets the fucking road. Potential don't mean shit. Because I ain't gonna lie, I'm not finna let that. I know y'all on his dick right now, but hold on, let me cook.
This is Butters, you know what I'm saying?
Let me cook real quick.
Cool out to some of my smooth tunes, okay? All right, is that cool? Yeah. All right, here we go.
Let me cook real quick, because I know y'all in love with Pickens right now, and y'all think this was always in him and everything like that. If Pickens was truly a great receiver, he would have did it regardless of the quarterback, and it's definitely possible. CD has done it. I love Pickens to death. He was a dog this year, but guess what? There's receivers who are producing without quarterbacks. Justin Jefferson, who has been the consistent top 5 quarterback in the last top 5 receiver in the last 5 years, ain't had a quarterback since Kirk motherfucking Cousins. How is he still at the top of the league? Yes, he wants to play with one, but let's not forget who we have. We have the ultimate elevator of talent and Dak Prescott. So all of this, I'm gonna be honest in it, the woe is me crowd with the wide receiver too, y'all gotta remember, bro, who has Dak elevated consistently? This is why we don't listen to Stephen A. Smith. We don't listen to all them fake ass people who change their quarterback ranking every year, because we know great quarterback play is consistency and elevation. And there's very few people who elevate talent. Mahomes did it. That's why the Chiefs literally went down his route and still won a Super Bowl. And just who's up there is also Dak. Randall Cobb. I know it's a name that's not, high, and you know what I'm saying? Like, Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup ended up playing with another team. Did he fucking do something? Coop's value was in the fucking crater before he came and put on the goddamn star. Coop's career he was going to be out the league. Dak added probably about, literally, is Coop's in the league today, 2026? It's because of Dak. I can literally say it's because of Dak. Because of Dak. Noah Brown. being like, if he's still in the league, it's because of Dak. It's because of Dak. It's because of Dak. Cooper elevated. Like he was literally just like a middle of the pack receiver. Soon as he put on a star, soon as Ford is his quarterback, he's at the top of the league. Swain, all them damn, man, keep naming, right, Rico. All them damn tight ends we had, Dalton Schultz, Jake Ferguson, and his goddamn, what's his name? Like, Jake Ferguson, the way he had been playing, he lucky to get even all the production he got right now. I still remember, because I went to the game when we were crying for wide receiver 2, and they brought in T.Y. Hilton, and T.Y. Hilton was out there diming up them goofy ass green birds. I was there. Man, one of my best Christmas Eves ever. Me and my brother in the building watching it. We ain't finna do that. Put some respect on Dak's name. Why is that important? Because people are acting like Dak needs Pickens. He doesn't need him. He had a number 1 offense before him. He had a number 1 offense with little ass Brandon Cooks. We forget that. We forget all of this, man. I'm not gonna sit here and say wide receiver 2 ain't important, but we are definitely forgetting that the need was wide receiver 2 and the need was not Pickens. I'm gonna say that again. Hold on. Give me the Oregon. We're forgetting that the need was wide receiver 2 and the need wasn't Pickens. Pickens is overkill. Pickens is a luxury. I think he could be a wide. No, I wish we could keep him as a number 1 receiver. The point is, you can keep Pickens. One of them receivers got to go. Pickens is coming into his prime too. He's got all the tools. Yeah. You notice how you saying that in future tense? Dak already did it and is currently doing it. I wonder why his tools is coming together. His tools wouldn't come together with Russell Wilson. Why wouldn't it come together then? We are forgetting who was the inflection point in his career. We're forgetting that. We're forgetting that. The reason why I look at this statement right here. Hold on. Why I look at that with confidence? Because why is it easy to replace? Because we replaced it constantly before. Hold on, my bad. We replaced it constantly before. So everybody on Twitter, fake ass meme accounts, you motherfucking accounts, you show your face, you call yourself creators, but talk shit, want to run your mouth about me and my crazy ass ideas. It's not crazy. It's a legit idea. Same person that was trying to say some shit about me last time. I'm quote tweeting you. You still ain't saying shit. I'm not like over here talking about y'all was bitching and complaining about going about the Keenan Allen and everything like that. Yeah, your motherfucking ass and turn on the goddamn film. Bateman and everything like all right. Dak would do fine with Mike Evans. It'll probably be the same, maybe a little bit less production with Mike Evans. Alec Pierce. We still have a number 1 offense. You name the receiver that's currently out there. It will still be a number 1 offense. My quarterback has had countless of wide receiver 2s and countless of fucking offensive coordinators. That's why when they want to come and bring them damn quarterback comparisons, they can't compare. Eagles love trying to compare Jalen Hurts, want to flaunt the ring around. He did it in a big moment. But you always want to talk about how he had multiple coordinators. My quarterback has had multiple coordinators and head coaches and succeeded every single time. No fall off. Wasn't because of the X's and O's. Wasn't because of the person. He succeeded. So like, so why? So I go back because I got more examples for y'all. I even got an example in y'all favor. The Baltimore Ravens chose to not fund weapons at all. Maybe a tight end here, tight end there, you know what I'm saying? But they purely want to draft. All their resources are in the defense. Here's the other side. I'm being fair. Lou, look what they have gotten down. They doubled down. They paid the linebacker. They paid the safety. They paid the corner, the defensive tackle, edges. Look where it got them, Lou. This is why it's important to have offense. Yeah, one man's trash is another man's treasure. They've been to an AFC championship game. You haven't. You haven't. So the defense is still a key. They just chosen by like a structural philosophy to always allocate the wide receiver to the draft, or by like a former great who on a budget to the draft, because they feel like they have a quarterback that can elevate talent in Lamar Jackson. But I'm gonna be honest with you, when it comes to elevating talent, Lamar doesn't do it quite as that. And I love Lamar, but we just being for real. But their method, they chose the defense and they got it further. I got more examples. Yeah, our historic rivals and the Niners actually employed 2 receivers at one point. Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk. Went to a Super Bowl, competed at NFC Championship game, beat our ass multiple times, and had a high-powered defense. But as soon as, because I told you about that pie, because that pie is real. It ain't no flipping of the levers bullshit. It was time to pay the biggest ticket, like that's literally supposed to be on your team, and that's the quarterback. When it was time to pay Brock Purdy, bye-bye Deebo Samuel, and guess what, Brandon Ayuk, you can go too. We can find another one. Because at the end of the day, man, Shanahan is an offensive-minded coach. He know the formula. He know if that defense ain't right, we ain't got a chance. Nick Bosa extension, Fred Warner. They always have great defensive talent. They'll trade for it if they have to. They wanted to add other defensive ends. They had Sweat at one time. Their resources allocated to the defense. I'm not saying to be fully, defense heavy like that, but I'm telling you right now, there's a reason why we ain't seen this formula that we're trying to do be the first. There's a reason why you haven't seen it. And it hasn't had any success. Any. And the last one. This is the most obvious one. The Seattle Seahawks. They just did it. They just did it. They had 2 receivers, one on a rookie contract, still on a rookie contract, and DK, and they traded him away for a minor alt-right roster reset with Mike McDonald, converted all their emphasis to the defense. Brought in Cooper Kupp, lower quality receiver, spent a little there, but they became a well-balanced team, and thanks to drafting, along with the reallocation of resources, like in D-Law and more, like Nwosu, great linebacker from the Browns all them years, they were able to build a very competitive roster. They chose not to employ 2 receivers. 1 receiver is a need, 2 is a luxury. It's a luxury. And if you don't have the foundation set, it's a real luxury. It's a real luxury, man. It's a real luxury. So let's talk about, and I ain't got the slides for them. Let's talk about the teams who did do what we do. Because there's teams who did it. And we've been saying it over and over again. I know you don't want to hear it, but you're going to hear it. You're going to hear it. Click on the show. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the content. You're going to hear it. Let's talk about those teams who did it. What'd you say? Make sure y'all can see it. Make sure y'all can see it. Bengals, Jamar Chase, Bengals, T. Higgins. Annual 40, annual 28. There are contributing close to 60, north of 28. Almost $70 million in the cap. And let me look up, what is Joe Burrow's APY? Oh. His annual is 55. 70 plus 55 is 125. 3 people got $125 million of the cap. So people wonder why Trey Hendrickson is getting off of the team, or they over here only giving 1 year extensions, or they drafting players and over here want to put these absurd, wording in a rookie's contract in Shamar Stewart, who ended up being he ain't fully a bust just yet, but I told y'all he wasn't gonna do nothing. They was over there getting alligator fingers with the rookie they just got out of the first round. That's how much they were literally already being a cheap organization. That's how iffy they got. And what happened to the defense? Cratered. And you know what? I'm going to sit here and boldly told you they chose wrong. Lou, how do you know that? The Bengals just went to the Super Bowl. They just went to the Super Bowl. And you know how they got there? You know what's the most important reason why they got to the Super Bowl? It was not that offense. The offense did enough, but it was that defense. They had a defense that year. I think it was Lou Anarumo. Forgive me if I'm wrong. That defense was the reason why they got to the Super Bowl. They had Trey Hendrickson. Hold on, man. Cincinnati defense rankings 2021, the Super Bowl year, Super Bowl appearance year. They had the 6th scoring defense, the 7th rushing defense, and 17th total defense. Let me make sure this is Super Bowl year. Yep. They had Jesse Bates. They had a defense. They had Sam Hubbard, who was still balling, and Trey Hendrickson. Oh, see, they were in a top 5 unit overall, but the ranking, according to the DVOA, in late September of that season, they were ranked 9th. DVOA is the defense compared to your opponent. They were balling. So let's look at the other receivers on here. Let's go down this list. They right by each other. Tyreek Hill and Waddle, who should never be at the same caliber of contracts. That's just me. I don't care what Waddle did. That's just Tyreek Hill. $28 and $30 million. What happened to them? What happened to them? What the Dolphins do? What did the Dolphins do at all with that high-powered offense? And they had Mike McDonald, and they had Devon A-Chain. But matter of fact, they invested so heavily in the weapons, they ain't build no offensive line. Because when you commit that much money to the quarterback, receiver 1, and receiver 2, the rest of the team is left with 55%. That means the offensive line, tight ends, and the defense. And they couldn't build that over there. Vic Fangio was over there. Yeah, the same Vic Fangio disciple we got right now, and Christian Parker. Yeah, he was the DC over there in Dolphin land. He didn't do a damn thing. They were all right, but Vic Fangio need talent. Oh, Vic Fangio need talent up front, especially up front. Oh, he need talent up front. They didn't do a damn thing. And you know what happened? They went to the first round of the playoffs. The Chiefs were looking like they were falling off a cliff because they've been rocky all season long. They ain't scored no points. They went into that game negative 32 degrees, and the weapons failed because they ain't had no defense. Failed. It failed them because the moment the elements change, I told you what gives you a good floor. I keep telling you every time, man. I keep telling you, when you don't have a defense, boop, boop, stuck. When you don't have a defense, hold on. When you don't have a defense, boop, stuck. Stuck. Stuck, man. You're stuck. So, like, there's been plenty of more examples. My entire thing is this: I'm not against paying somebody that ticket price in 35 or no 44 million, 40 million. My thing is this, and no one's going to convince me otherwise. I would rather take the money to whoever you want to say, is it to Pickens or the CD, and give it to somebody who is impactful to the defense. It's time, because if you truly want to compete for a Super Bowl, this must be the balance. Yeah. There's no team that ever won that was not balanced. We cannot be heavily unbalanced like the way we are. It's literally connected. Literally connected, man. Let me see some of y'all messages, because my bad. I was cooking and everything like that. The official brand, no Cowboy fans want Crosby over GP3. Okay. I like to keep the offense intact and build the defense with key free agents and picks. Football fanatic. Yeah, did you have that same mentality for wide receiver 2? The reason why I get irked when y'all say that, because it's literally translation. I'd rather, have what I want, and the defense, they can build what they got. I want to have what I want, and I want the defense to build, what they got. And I want to compete with a Super Bowl otherwise. You know what I'm saying? I want to compete for a Super Bowl otherwise. Like this is not important. Like, I understand. Let me just man talking minds now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand, bro. Like, I understand the connection with Pickens. I understand that. But I laid it out to you that it's literally financially irresponsible. We being tricked into debates. All right, bro. You know what I'm saying? Worst defense in 2022 gets Micah in 2021, wins 3 games in a row. Look, man, you can look at this shit through a fucking vacuum all you want. Talking about worst defense 33 years in a row. Yeah, without Micah, your ass had the worst defense all time. We can play the semantics game all we want. Yeah, with Micah, we had the worst defense of all, in the league. Yeah, without him, you had the worst defense of all time. I win. Next. Like, straight like that, bro. Next, we can fix both. We can have both. Why y'all sell ourselves short? I just told you. So if you can come into it, you cannot have both. It is literally according to the books, you have to pick and choose. If we borrow from whatever year in terms of flipping of the switches, we are going to be hard capped if this season do not work. And we're not one and done. This is not all in 1 year. We're all in, but we finna be all in for the next 2 to 3 years if we can. I want to be that. I don't want to be hard capped in any way and leaving the rest of the team to build with. If we have both of them, you talk about 50, man, that's going to be less than probably like 35% of the budget going to the rest of the team. You need more. All I'm asking you is to take one of your stars from the offense. You already got Dak. You already got CD. You already got Tyler Smith. You have 3 stars already. I'm asking you to give 1 contract to the defense so they can have 2. So we can be a little bit more balanced in terms of cornerstones. You cannot have both, Henny. I'm sorry. You cannot have both. You can, but it's gonna be a real short window. Real short. Like, we will be building it up and tearing it down very quickly. Like, insanely quickly. Because we're flipping the only switch I'm worried about flipping is Dak's contract, because his contract, golly, you let them caps stack, we're gonna be in it like for a while. Football fan talking about our windows now. You sound like Stephen Jones. No, this was Stephen Jones. Stephen Jones is similar, talking about managing the cap but not paying him, and then just filling in the void with just purely draft picks. I'm declaring I want the $35 million spent, just not on offense again. So I'm actually not. I'm not like Stephen Jones. I sound like Stephen Jones because I'm not giving you what you want, and you're being emotional. That's just being real. You got Dominant Zaraku, dude. Started coming along. You can get another D in the free agency and trade. Crosby gonna cost too much in the league and gonna be bidding. You know, I can do the same thing. Oh, you got Ryan Flournoy. You got Jonathan Mingo. Oh my God, you can draft another receiver in the draft. You know what I'm saying? You know, receivers gonna be too expensive in the league and everything like that. Let them develop. And you know what's the difference? I'm talking to you about the starting edge, and you're talking to me about the backup receiver. And whether you like it or not, I know y'all hate hearing that word backup, but it's a wide receiver 1, it's a wide receiver 2. Somebody got to be backing up who? There's one guy, there's one ball, there's literally one. And I'm talking about the main guy that we need on defense. That's the difference in arguments right here. Your argument is based in luxury, mine is in purely need. It's purely need. We need to not pay Kenneth Murray and get real dudes in free agency. Kenneth Murray costs $5 million, bro. Y'all like it's $5 million, bro. And thank you, Beige Boxer. Because you know what, Beige Boxer, when I came in here on game 2 and I said that Ezaraku needed less snaps because he was literally getting locked up by Jordan Mailata. Oh, it's Jordan Mailata. He's the best of all time. Yeah, the boy had 7. He had 2 sacks all year. I'm not counting on no one. He gonna have to show me. And you know who is showing everyone, just like Pickens has showed y'all, is Crosby. How come you Dallas fans is scared to say Dak is the problem with getting that money? Amari Cooper elevated Prescott. Dak needs to be ashamed of himself, got all the money, but can't go to the playoffs. Donnell Reed, you sound goofy. That was the goofiest statement one can ever say. Talking about Amari Cooper elevated Dak. But I got you know how backwards you sound? I have more people being elevated by Dak Prescott than did Amari Cooper elevate Deshaun Watson? Did Amari Cooper elevate Josh Allen? Who else he played for? Did Amari Cooper elevate Shedeur Sanders? Where is he at right now? Did Amari Cooper elevate that backup? I'm gonna need you to think before you talk next time, bro. Cause you're saying some bullshit. Got a Dak hater. Cause I like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to elevate, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just trying to elevate Dak's window right now. Like people, like everybody who come in here and hating on Dak, I've yet to hear a logical reason to hate Dak. When I hear from people who hate Dak, every time it's either that stupid ass playoff excuse, how he don't elevate in a time. You know, that's another reason why I'm arguing with y'all. I didn't get a chance to say it yet. The reason why I want to build defense because it's quarterbacks who literally they come in here and say they paint as quarterbacks as a playoff wins a QB stat, and all these bum ass quarterbacks in these playoffs this past year over here in the game, literally in the game. As they turn the ball over 6 times. Get the fuck out my face with this shit. Talking about Dak is the goddamn problem. I literally saw CJ Stroud turn that motherfucking ball over 6 times. 6. And was still in the game. I literally just came from going to school, because I got to school in Houston, and some people in there, Houston fans, they said all he had to do was take 6 sacks and they would have won the game and been in an AFC championship game. But you in here fucking telling me it's Dak's fault. No, I want what Houston has, and that's the defense. Because the defense hides so much. So much. T-Church said Pickens' trade value is not that high. It's second round pick. T-Church, who told you that? T-Church, I don't believe that at all. Whoever is saying that, they are flat out lying. I do mean that. Because T-Church, I'm gonna give you the baseline. AJ Brown on the year when he was traded to Philly, you do know he only had 1,001 yards and like 7 touchdowns. Pickens has 1,434 and 9 touchdowns. We're lucky. It may not be only one first round pick that's his value. Talking defense. Yeah, Murray had a 7.5 million cap hit. Not sure, yeah, we don't know if it was after the trade. Look at y'all. That's the Jones family. That's the Jones family to fix the defense, not 24-year-old. Look, y'all, that's the Jones family to fix. That's the Jones, job you saying to fix the defense, not 24-year-old GP3. Can I be honest with y'all? This is why when you ask me if I'm keeping, who am I choosing, GP or Crosby? That statement right there. How y'all thinking? Because we had the weapons this year. We had GP going off this year, and everything he did didn't help the defense at all. He didn't help the defense one damn bit. But I guarantee you, everything that Crosby did helps the overall team. Oh, Pickens helps the offense, but he didn't help the defense one damn bit. They were still bad. He didn't save them from being the 4th worst defense ever. They were still bad. Love them to death. We had them both in him. They didn't stop this team from doing shit. So yeah, you probably think it's right that it's the Jones' job to fix the defense. Well, I'm getting a player that's gonna help the offense and the defense. How about that? He's a greater impact player. He has a greater impact position. And that's a fact. Stroud is on a rookie deal. That still doesn't change the fact that he was ass. They scared of what Pickens. They scared of what Pickens you get, Lou. Hold on, they scared of what they're scared of what Pickens you get? No, they're not. We're the only organization that care about image. We're literally the only organization. They don't care about that. Look at the Eagles. They employed AJ Brown, we're the only one who do that. Nobody care about Pickens. I mean, Pickens was viewed as a negative asset a year ago, but they saw what this man can do. I promise you, they're gonna write a blank check. They the Packers took on Micah's bullshit and did just fine. They didn't get far, but he got hurt. The defense was elevated. Whether D was historically awful, GP3 didn't play on D. All right, bro. What has Crosby been doing? Literally keeping that trash ass organization and Raiders above float by himself. Bro, I'm not gonna argue with nobody. You view football through the tiniest of tunnel tube. I'm not going to do that with you. Talk about, GP don't play offense and he doesn't play. I'm not going to do that with you. I'm not. I'm sorry, bro. You just not capable of seeing it from a different angle, and I'm not going to hold your hand to help you. To be fair, Lou, if we didn't have the score so much, the defense would be exactly common sense. The defense would be worse, but guess what? They were still the 4th worst in NFL history. They were still the 4th worst in NFL history. Crosby ain't Lawrence. Crosby ain't Lawrence Taylor or Ray Lewis. Stop the BS, people. You came in here and compared him to two greats to sway people from Crosby. Do you see the lengths you had to go to even compare to keep people from even thinking about Crosby? He ain't Lawrence Taylor and Ray Lewis, so I have to trade for somebody because they are literally gold jacket Hall of Famers. Is that the standard now in Cowboy land? Is a Cowboys fan really saying that? Yeah, you trolling. I want Devin Lloyd as our Mike. T-shirts, I saw that. I don't even think Devin Lloyd plays Mike. I thought he was an outside linebacker. Ain't he top of the league in sacks? It is the Jones job to keep the defense. Parsons cost $9 million against the cap. I mean, JVB boy, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I wouldn't be fighting y'all with Pickens at all if they would have did their job and signed Parsons. They still could have got Quentin Williams, and we could have got GP. He only cost in the third. We could have had all 4 of them in the budget if they would have did it correctly. Exactly. Like, Max kept the Raiders a legit defense. He's the reason why they were above float and not picking. Well, they are picking first overall, but like their defense was literally the reason that they were even like manageable this year. Yeah, you blah blah blah. You want to blah blah blah? Get your motherfucking ass out of my chat. How about that? Bye. Go on somewhere with that, bro. I ain't got time for that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, seeing Crosby and Kenny, like, that's beige boxer. The funny thing is, if we ever do it and get Crosby and Quentin Williams, the same people who was mad, I promise you, like Dak and CD probably hate my damn plan. Once they see Crosby and Quentin together, oh, they'll love it. They'll love it. I know they'll love it. I know they will. I know they will. Oh, they will love it. You know how many times Dak will be able to start with the ball on the plus 20-yard line, having drive start from mid. We'll probably have a game where we starting from the drive from midfield and end because we over here causing so much havoc. No, he had 5. Devin Lloyd had 5 INTs. Then who's that linebacker for the? Is that another game? There's a Jacksonville linebacker. Remember we was looking at in the simulator, and he was costing like so much money. And he had like a lot of sacks. We'll look up Devin Lloyd because I'm trying to think. Was that him? I thought it was him. Lou, your boy Anthony Hill is a weak side linebacker. I haven't looked at him just yet. I'll come back and see. Probably ain't no damn mics in the draft. I wouldn't be surprised. T-Church, I wouldn't be surprised. Exactly, T-Church. Williams does need a running mate. He can do this shit by himself, but he'll be even more. You'll see the true value of Williams if you get him a running mate. You help this defense overall. You help this team overall. You get him a running mate. But I'm trying to build the greatest front of all time, and you know, people just don't see it, and it's all good. I did this show today. I helped educate y'all. I educated myself in this. Like before this, I was not like abreast to the cap, abreast to the restructures. Now I actually get what Boss is talking about. The can will kick back. It definitely will. If you already know, the reason why restructures are very risky, you're borrowing from a future year. The year you're borrowing from, the money is due. Because you convert the money from a base salary to a signing bonus, and the signing bonus is already deducted from that year's cap. It's already deducted. And we have to be, even though we are trying to go for a Super Bowl, we want to go all in, we cannot be reckless about it. We have to be responsible about it and get there the best way can, because honestly, I wouldn't be fighting y'all so hard if we didn't literally just come off the 4th worst defense in NFL history last year. Like, y'all chose to have this fight with me after that year and thinking y'all coming to me with some rinky dink and Bob the Builder and bottom of the barrel as, you know what I'm saying, Lou, just do this, get some draft picks, fill the draft, you know, fill the team up with 7 draft picks again, Lou. You know what I'm saying? Just get this player. Nah, man. After, like, and I'm really, cause like y'all looking at me crazy, I'm looking at y'all crazy. Like, after we just had the 4th worst defense, you don't view edge as a threat? Like, my memory ain't crazy. Like, I heard y'all fighting us on running back, talking about we need an edge, Lou. We need an edge, Lou. Now I'm saying we need an edge and we don't need a damn edge. I heard y'all when we was getting our ass beat. Getting our ass beat. And now we don't need an edge. Now you want to run back the same exact plan? We committed how many 2nd round picks to that room in edge and got absolutely nothing? The most productive player didn't even have a camp. Our most productive edge wasn't even at camp. And we're just saying, nah, let's run back to see. Oh, I'm talking about Devin White. Appreciate that. So they got the same first name. I knew it. Okay. I'm like, Lloyd, Devin, I heard that. Okay. That's probably what it was. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna run back that plan, man. We just finished the brand new defense and everything like that. I want to get this new staff what they need, man. I'm sorry, y'all. I need to get the staff what they need. I know it's a great staff. I'm excited about the staff, but can I be honest, y'all? Like, we had a great offensive year, right? Had a brand new head coach, right? We had all these guys that we hired, and coaching is important, right? But you know what validated all these guys coaching? We got them great players. Hired Clayton Adams, got Connor Riley. You drafted, you hit a home run in Cooper Beebe last year. You already got Tyler Smith, and you hit an absolute out of the park home run with Booker. You added to him and made sure you validated his work and made his job easier. What did you do for the receiver room in Junior Adams? Well, you went out there and you traded for, you already had CeeDee Lamb, but you traded for a George Pickens. You made his job easier. What did you do for the running back coach? You went out there and you knocked out a sneaky signing in Javonte Williams. So you got production from that room. What did you do for the overall offense and together to guarantee Schottenheimer's his plan came into fruition? You got him the tools he need, and you made his life easier. Why are we doing the opposite when it comes to this defense? Because Schottenheimer's been a coordinator before, 20 years, in fact, in terms of in terms of like experience. Christian Parker's never called defensive plays. And we have a chance to make his life easier by giving him a nuclear player. Somebody who's going to command attention, command 3 tight ends, who's going to be kick stepping and blocking with the tackle in order to keep him at bay. We want to rob him of that, or not even consider that, or scoff at that to the brand new. I know we had a football fanatic. We had a historically bad back 7. You preaching to the choir. That's why I was fighting everybody when they was in their panties in a bunch about Kenneth Murray, talking about he was the reason. I know your DBs was the reason, but guess what, football fanatic? You know who helps the back end? You probably don't know. So I'll give you some numbers to write down for you to call on this team to when we had Micah and who Micah helped out. You can call Trayvon Diggs. You can call Deron Bland. You better call Donovan Wilson and ask him how his life was easier with a Micah Parsons going at the quarterback. And you got Malik Hooker. You can ask all of them, and Jordan Lewis. Ask them how impactful a defensive edge rusher who was a problem, how easy it was. I just told you, if I was on the film watching it with Boss, this man had 2 tight ends having to block him. Do you know who's typically usually tasked with the assignment of guarding a tight end? It's the safeties. If they're kick stepping and trying to block Maxx Crosby, they're not running a route. If they're not running a route, Donovan Wilson can't get cooked. Even though I don't even want Donovan Wilson on my team, Malik Hooker can't get to cook. Now he can go shade and help out your young corner. It's a layered effect, and I'm trying to build a strong foundation to get to where we need. Yeah, but we need secondary players with pedigree. I guarantee you won't need that much pedigree in your secondary if you get Maxx Crosby. My plan will literally guarantee a better secondary. If you get Maxx Crosby in here, you can use both those first round picks on back end talent for Christian Parker. And you can bring in a veteran corner. Bring in a veteran safety. You have literally flipped this pass defense by itself on its head. Because now the young corners, their confidence won't be shocked because they ain't covering for all day. So that's how you get breakout years from a 6th round or 4th round corner in Deron Bland, and you have historic years from Trayvon Diggs. You have somebody who commands attention up front, That's all it's about. Occupying one more sets of odds. Football is all a numbers game. If I can get 2 on 1, I win. Same thing in basketball. If I can get 2 on 1, I win. The moment you commit 2, somebody's open. It's 11 on 11. The moment you commit 2, it's 10 on 9. You commit 2 more, hey man, it's 11 on 8. Maxx Crosby by himself was commanding like 3 to 4 people every time. Yeah. No Crosby, rebuild with young D. No Pickens, rebuild with a young wide receiver too. I could do this. We can both play the semantics game. Semantics. Like I said before, you're arguing the backup receiver. I'm literally arguing the starting edge. I'm literally arguing somebody who plays every single down in football. Every single down. Who impacts the game more. And who's a better player. I said it. Crosby's a far better player than Pickens. Lou, what you talking about is just your opinion. Bengals ownership is just as bad as Dallas. Can't use them example for anything. Yes, I can. I literally did, and I just did. You cannot tell me that. What I'm not saying is not an opinion. It's based on fact and research. What you are saying is opinion. You have brought nothing to the courtroom. I literally brought you on how they made the wrong decision in paying both their receivers. If you want to chalk it up to bad ownership, well, guess what? Bad ownership does bad ownership things. What about the Dolphins? What about the Chiefs who made the opposite decision? What about the Seahawks that literally didn't progress until they made that similar decision? I understand y'all want y'all weapon, bro, but that's the problem. Y'all over here being very illogical about it. And that's the thing. Y'all being very, 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 very irresponsible when it comes to team building. I said it. If you pay Pickens, it will be very irresponsible. Because y'all look me dead in my face and tell me if we pay Pickens, we going to a Super Bowl? All right. I'm not arguing with people whether you can't take from one side. Yes, you can. That's literally what the Chiefs did. It worked. It literally worked. So the Seahawks did. It worked. It literally worked. I ain't got time to talking with y'all. What wide receivers would Seattle pay? They chose not to pay or not continuing to pay DK. And they brought in Cooper Kupp. They just chose to literally take the resources for DK and invest in the defense. You don't need both to win it. You don't. You need one more. You know how I know y'all lying with talking about you need Pickens? There's literally have never been a receiver that's won before on the caliber of CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens right now. You cannot name me one team. You can't name me one team. Lou, you ain't hearing it. I am hearing it, bro. All right. I'm hearing you loud and clear. But I'm telling you, the reason why, like, I'm still on this stance with you, because your plan requires me to compromise. But you get what you want. Your plan is with the offense getting what they want, and the defense, once again, getting a small piece of chicken. You on your 4th plate. You on your 4th star you paying. Defense asking for a 2nd one. And it's a fucking problem. Defense asking for star number 2. And you got your panties in a bunch. It's all good, bro. I know, hey. Because you know, it's not even the Cowboys to determine this anyway. It's David Mulligetta. So if you okay with paying him $40 plus million, go ahead. I'm gonna go live when Jerry cranks up the heat and talks about how George Pickens is gonna be greedy, and what's her name, KH6648P2W. You gonna be coming in here telling me how Pickens is greedy. I ain't doing this. It's all good. I mean, yeah, it's on the agent. At the end of the day, it is on the agent. But I appreciate y'all, man. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe to the content, man. Be on the lookout for the video on the defensive coaches, but be open, y'all. Continue to educate yourselves and be smart friends, and yeah, let's continue to improve this thing, and we're gonna continue to make our way to number 6, but we're not gonna get there by being irresponsible. I will say that it's gonna take yes, offense with firepower, but I'm gonna guarantee you, boy, it's gonna take even more of your defense. If you have no defense, you have no foundation. And if you ain't no foundation, you're gonna be swinging. You're going to be swinging from a sinking foundation, and you're going to get stuck. Like every single time, you're going to get stuck. You're gonna get stuck. So remember that when we're trying to build this defense. I'm out.